My bad, my bad, my bad. It was wildin'. It was definitely wildin' today. I don't know what was going on. It didn't want me to be great. But I'm here. Make sure you log on to doggiediamondstv.com. You might have missed some videos. Everything will be on doggiediamondstv.com. So make sure you log on to the site. You might have missed some videos. All my social media is on there. Everything is on doggiediamondstv.com. And you must go to that website to see everything pertaining to me. All right, listen, man. Have you heard about my $200 social media promotion deal? If you didn't, let me give you some details really, really quick. First and foremost, the promotion will be done on Doggie Diamonds TV and the Interlude TV accounts. That's the Insta stories, the YouTube communities, the threads, the Facebook, the Twitter accounts. I could promote whatever you need. But as a reminder, this is for serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. I could put your products in front of hundreds of thousands of people with a single post. Just contact me. Contact me at Doggie Diamonds on Instagram. Let's go. Yes. And as you file into the room, that like button should be just, you should have just made sure that like button is pressed. You should make sure that like button is liked. It's important. Why? Because when you hit the like button, it goes out there and everybody gets to see what it is I'm doing here. So don't be stingy. Don't just keep everything for yourself. Make sure you share it. Make sure you hit that like button. It's important. I had a bozo that said in one of my things, stop begging for people to hit the like button. I be wanting to tell people sometimes, man, be quiet. So we got El Jefe in the building, J Woo 72 in the building, Furious Styles in the building. Don't forget,
Doggie Diamonds did this.
Nate Jackson is here. His boss is here. Nicholas Sealy is here. Lionel Joseph is here. El Matic, what's up? Show, what's up? Simeon Israel, what's up? OTG Frank is in the building. Yes, we got City Boy Floyd is in the building. Visual 3030 is in the building. M7 is here. Gav, what's up? The 185 is in the building. We got Immortal TK is always here. Cole Harlem, what's up? B Mick, what's up? Billy One, what's up? Lason Jiddle is in the building. Stanley Cabinets, Peter Truth is here. Stanley Cabinets, hit that, set that super chat off. Y'all should follow suit with that. G Breezy, what's up? I gotta make sure I'm sending something right. Hold on, make sure if I click this, is this what comes up? Hold on. No, that's wrong. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to do something at the same time as I'm talking to y'all. I'm gonna continue the shout outs. Don't worry about it. Even when the show starts, we gonna continue. Hold on. All right, we figure that out in a minute. What's up? Daryl Maddox, what's up? G Breezy is in the building. Wade OC is in the building. Brandon Spivey is in the building. Rob Theodore is in the building. I'm here. Seth Kinney, what's up? Damn, my glasses is foggy. Tyson Garcia, I see you. Chuck Dickinson, Zero Wreck is in the building. REQ is in the building. Yeah, we got Sweet D is in the building as well. Hold on. I'm on the screen. My bad. I was having technical difficulties. My camera didn't work. I got to go back and fix it. It doesn't look as sharp as it normally looks, in my opinion. It's a little off kilter, but I'll fix that later on. We got Sir God Blackman in the building. We have Rob Theodore here. We got Killman Fight, Gojo. Hey, it's going to get a little spooky tonight. You know what I'm saying? Rick Gatling, what's up? Stay A, what's going on? But yeah, it kind of wilded out a little bit. It just didn't want to work tonight. So I was like, hold up, man. Do I cancel the show? Is it getting spooky? Is that the issue? So let me see something also. Hold on. See? Yeah, I feel a little bit more centered now. But it just wilded out on me today. It wasn't really feeling me today. So I don't know what happened. So yeah.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
All right, I got a lot to show y'all tonight. Let me get to, all right. So first and foremost, I want to show y'all something really, really quick because I'm doing something different tonight. I want to show y'all that I do have the actual paperwork. I do have the actual paperwork. I want to show y'all that really quick. Let's get to the rundown screen if we may. We do not need no music. No music. That means cut the music off. So as you can see, I do have the actual paperwork. This is the actual paperwork right here. This is it. But what I'm going to read to y'all tonight and read from tonight is not going to be the actual paperwork because I actually have little little notes that I want to read. And also, let's also keep in mind everything is alleged. This is a lawsuit. This does not mean that this is law. This does not mean that this is the truth. This is just a lawsuit. This is a lawsuit, as Sean would say. Hold on, y'all see all my back end stuff? No, you see me working and stuff. So this is the actual, this is the lawsuit. Hold on, I'm trying to do a million things at one time. My bad. There we go. So yeah, this is the actual, lawsuit. So you're going to see that this is the paperwork. So don't think, where the paperwork? Also, you can see the docket number in the top right, the case number. So I'll make sure you see that. See this case? You can see this right here. So if you want to, let me see if I can zoom in for you because I didn't use this program before. So this is just, this is actually just Bing, but I never used Bing before to read any paperwork. So you can see the case number right here. I know y'all can see this. You can see the case number. Everything is right here. I'm trying to find out where do I zoom in at. It's probably somewhere, but I don't have time to be looking. I just don't feel like doing all that. It's probably right in my face, but I'm blind, as you know. So that's why I be struggling sometimes. I be misreading shit because I can't see. I can't see. So that's the issue with that. I wanted to show y'all that. So without any further ado, shout out to everybody in the room. Shout out to everybody who pulled up. What I did was, and I was able to run the paperwork through AI and actually get the notes that I need that I felt was important. So that's what I did. So this is what I'm about to show y'all right now. I was able to get the notes that I needed, and that's what I did. So I didn't have to go through paperwork. Wade OC, I appreciate you. So what I did was I took the paperwork because I have the actual paperwork too. I showed y'all that, but I have the file. So what I did was I researched it, and you can see what my prompts was. I said, can you research this and find 50 Cent name in this article? Which I didn't find 50 Cent name in the article. It just says the name 50 Cent appears in the provided document on page 135 in the context of predicate act that an intimidation Dre. Specifically, paragraph 673 states, defendant Cartagena specifically targeted Dre, a prominent music producer from the duo Cool and Dre, after Dre produced the beat for rapper 50 Cent hit song Hate or Love It. Defendant Cartagena viewed this professional collaboration as betrayal and alignment with his rival, prompting immediate retaliation. See, I didn't know that. Fat Joe was mad at 50. Mad at Dre for producing for 50, which I didn't know that he would think is producing for 50 because it was for Game. So maybe because Game did the record and 50 is on it. So I didn't know this. So I did this by accident. I'm going to zoom in really quick if I could because like I said, as y'all know, there we go. That's even better. That's looking good to me because I can't see. So this is it. So he actually was mad at Dre for doing Hate It or Love It for 50 Cent, as you can see in the paperwork. He was mad. Then I put Curtis Jackson. So because maybe it's not under 50 Cent it's still under Curtis Jackson. So it's the same thing. So that was the prompt that I put in. If you know anything about AI, then you know how to use it to your advantage. You know, a lot of people spook y'all with AI and they scare you, but it's not anything to be afraid of if you know how to use it to your advantage. In this case, I used it to summarize this paperwork. Then I put, how about scaring TA? It said the provided document, a civil complaint filed by Terrance Dixon, aka TA, against Joseph Antonio Cartagena. Man, I'm mad nasal. Fat Joe and others, contains several allegations related to actions that could be interpreted as intimidation or scaring TA. Below, I summarized the relevant instances where the document describes actions intended to frighten, coerce, or intimidate TA based on the content provided. And what I like about what this did, it actually shows the page, the paragraph, and everything. This is like some Bible, verses and all that. I know what it is too. The lights are too hot. I got to fix the lights later, but after this show. So it said threats of, I don't want to say that word out loud. So if I omit words, it's because of, these folks like messing with me. Plus, this dude is with such and such nation. You know how they be getting people shut down. But I'm going to read it for you. So it said threats of V and references to past attacks. Paragraph 122 to 125. And this is the first time I'm reading this. I did not read this prior to this. I just actually got it all together for y'all to read this. So it says, defendant Cartagena, paragraph 122 to 125, page 18. Defendant Cartagena repeatedly warned TA stating, nobody leaves Terror Squad in one piece. He reinforced this by referencing the VA on former associate Louis Cuban Link Taiban, who was scarred and humiliated after leaving Cartagena's circle. These statements were intended to convey that resistance or demands for fair treatment would lead to severe physical harm, creating a climate of fear for TA. Woo! It's kind of crazy. Paragraph 149 to 152, page 21 to 22. Cartagena frequently referenced Cuban links which left permanent nerve damage and scarring as a warning to TA during disputes, particularly over compensation. The document states, the message was clear. If you cross me, you'll end up like him. Explicitly aimed at scarring TA into compliance. So that could probably be what part of the lawsuit would this be considered to be? This probably would be considered to be would this be extortion? I don't know. I'm not no law dude. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't no paperwork dude either. I'm just reading this. So it says, threats of abandonment. That's the title of this. Paragraph 127, page 18. Cartagena threatened to strand TA in foreign locations without resources on multiple occasions. Followed through, leaving TA without food, shelter, or safe transit. These actions intensify TA's fear and dependency, designed to scare him into submission. Paragraph 136, page 20. When TA resisted a coerced encounter, Cartagena retaliated by canceling TA's flight home, stranding him abroad without money or support, placing him in a vulnerable and frightening position. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. And again, if y'all wondering why am I reading from here, I do have the actual paperwork, but what I did is I got it to summarize it for me. You can see right here, this is the paperwork. I do have the paperwork. Don't think I don't have it. Don't think I'm just making stuff up. I am reading summarized. I got it to summarize it for me because if I had to read all of this, man, forget about it. So I got it to summarize it for me. Social media threats. Paragraph 700 through 714, pages 140 to 142. Predicate Act 19. After TA began exposing the enterprise's illegal operation, burner Instagram accounts, examples BitGGGG, Dr. Shabag, allegedly operated by Cartagena's associate, sent threatening messages to TA, including, "We let you live. You love your family, right? Fall back in 48 hours. The Don doesn't forget." These messages, timed with TA's public actions and legal filings, were intended to intimidate and scare him into silence, causing panic attacks, insomnia, and hypervigilance. The document describes these as a part of prolonged and escalating campaign of psychological terror. Physical intimidation by enforcers. So, Pistol Pete, shout out. I know Pistol Pete. Me and Pistol Pete has always had a great relationship. The Puerto Rican Pistol Pete. My relationship with Pistol Pete started because of my brother Mike Beck. He was at that time a part of Kill All Rats. And rest in peace to Mike Beck. That was my brother. That's how I met Pete. And Pete has always been fair with me, always been cool with me. Again, what I am reading is just the paperwork. Does not mean that it's true. I'm just reading the lawsuit. That does not mean this is true. Nobody has been convicted of any wrongdoing. These are just allegations and accusations for now. So we have to treat it like that. But rest in peace to my brother Mike Beck for sure. Shout out to Pistol Pete. Pistol Pete has been in the YouTube blogosphere lately by some of the statements that he made about his actions in Kaksaki before. A lot of the bros that I know personally have came out and said that he was capping. That's their politic. That's not mine. So, physical intimidation by enforcers. Paragraph 56, page 9. Defendant, because he's named in this lawsuit as well. Defendant Pistol Pete Torres, described as Cartagena's primary enforcer, coordinated threats against TA, including attempts to orchestrate an ambush using coded language like pound him out and catch up. I never heard catch up. I heard about somebody getting pounded out before. These actions were meant to instill fear in TA to maintain enterprise control. And when they start using words like enterprise, that's when we start knowing that that's that RICO shit. Paragraph 709, page 141. Torres and Richard Rich Player, I'm not trying to pronounce their last name, are alleged to have directed or managed the threatening social media accounts, further scaring TA by leveraging the enterprise violent reputation. Psychological and coercion. Paragraph 121 to 131, pages 17 to 19. Cartagena cultivated an environment of psychological manipulation through verbal, erratic payments and threats, resulting in chronic anxiety and trauma for TA. The constant fear of violent retaliations, I didn't mean to say that word, I meant to say violent. The constant fear of retaliation or career destruction was designed to keep TA submissive. Paragraph 132 to 145, pages 19 to 21. Predicate Act 21, pages 144 to 147. TA was coerced into acts and public exhibitionism under surveillance, often with Cartagena watching or directing. Refusal led to threats of financial ruin or abandonment, creating a terrifying environment where compliance was enforced through fear. The document notes TA suffered PTSD, panic attacks, and disassociation as a result. They trying to say he was on some Diddy shit? TA was coerced into in public exhibitionism under surveillance, often with Cartagena watching or directing. That's some Diddyism. Again, this is all alleged. This is what the paperwork say. What are these niggas into? Goodness gracious. Anyway. Retaliatory lawsuit. Paragraph 31 to 33, Cartagena and Roc Nation filed a baseless lawsuit against TA and his counsel, described as an attempt to intimidate, harass, and scare TA into abandoning his claims. The lawsuit aimed to burden TA financially and chill his pursuit of justice, reinforcing a fear of retaliation. So basically, the summary of it is this. The document details a pattern of actions by Cartagena, who was Fat Joe, and his associates, explicitly designed to scare TA into submission, silence, and continued exploitation. These include direct threats of references to past abandonment in foreign countries. Damn, you left that nigga in a foreign country. Menacing social media messages, physical intimidation by enforcers, psychological manipulation, coerced, and a retaliatory lawsuit. These actions caused TA significant emotional distress, including anxiety, PTSD, and fear for his safety, as documented in the complaint. If you meant a specific incident or context, i.g., a particular event or person like Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent scaring TA, please clarify. So that's asking me, what did I mean when I asked was 50 Cent? Because I wonder, one of the reasons why I asked anything about 50 Cent, for clarity, I was wondering if TA was around while G-Unit and Terror Squad were beefing, and did he ever hear anything? So that's why I asked it. Is it in the paperwork? Because again, I don't have time to listen and read the paperwork. I don't have time to do that. So I wanted to do the show, so I was able to summarize that for you. I'm pretty sure it's more later on. If I dig into other facets of the paperwork, I will read it aloud to you. But this is what I asked it. This, if you don't know, this is why I use programs like X. It has a program called Grok in it, and I use Grok. And it says, can you research this and find 50 Cent name in this article? That was the prompt. And it says the name 50 Cent appears in the provided document on page 135 in the context of predicate act. You see what it says? An intimidation of Dre. And I did hear that Dre is all in this paperwork too, which I'll get to another day because it gets kind of deep. I could get into the other things with about the majors, cold word, but they don't allow me to do certain things on these platforms. People could put certain titles, certain thumbnails. When I do it, they be like, nah, get him up out of here. So I'm doing what I can within the confines of what they allow me to do. So you might see other channels and other people, they ain't been in the culture for 20 years. They're not under a radar. They not under a microscope. They haven't been deep, the word that they did to me, so that's why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. So defendant Cartagena specifically targeted Dre. And this is Dre from Cool and Dre, who did Hate It or Love It. They did a lot of records. A prominent music producer from the duo Cool and Dre, after Dre produced the beat for rapper 50 Cent's hit song Hate It or Love It. Defendant Cartagena viewed this professional collaboration as a betrayal and alignment with his rival, prompting immediate retaliation. What I could do in front of you and show you something in real time. How did Cartagena retaliate against Dre? And I'll ask that in real time. Okay, now see what I just did was I asked it in real time based on the paperwork. And it says, according to the provided document, and it gives you the case number, document 3. See, y'all ain't getting nothing like this nowhere else, man. Hit that goddamn like button, man. My camera looking bad, looking shabby, still look better than other people, but I ain't got my color correction right, but I'm just trying to put in this work. And again, this is all alleged. This does not mean it's the truth. I'm just reading the paperwork. According to the question that I asked, how did Cartagena retaliate against Dre? Because it said, according to this, he was going to retaliate. So according to the provided document, case 125 CV 05144, document 3, filed on that day, Joseph Antonio Cartagena, aka Fat Joe, retaliated against Dre, a music producer from the duo Cool and Dre, due to Dre's collaboration with rapper 50 Cent, which Cartagena perceived as a betrayal. The details of this retaliations are outlined in Predicate Act 17, assault and intimidation. And I can't, read it. On pages 135 to 137, paragraphs 672 and 681, below is a summary of how Cartagena retaliated against Dre. Ordering, Cartagena targeted Dre after Dre produced the beat for 50 Cent's hit song Hate or Love It, viewing this collaboration as alignment with his rival. That was paragraph 673. On paragraph 674, to punish Dre and send a message to the music industry, Cartagena issued a direct order from his enforcer, Pistol Pete, to physically, the assault was coded as clappy, an enterprise term meaning to slap or physically attack the target. Wow, I never knew this. Wow. This is what happened. According to paragraph 675, Torres forcibly entered Dre's Miami recording studio during an active session, disrupting operation and asserting enterprise authority. This is paragraph 676, despite Dre's larger physical stature, approximately 6'7", compared to Pistol Pete's 5'8", Torres used intimidation and force. He grabbed Dre by the neck, pulled him down eye level, and explicitly threatened seriously bodily harm if Dre collaborated again with artists considered adversaries of Cartagena. Paragraph 677. Torres physically slapped Dre 3 times in the face to underscore and reinforce Cartagena's reputation. These actions were intended to deter future collaborations and maintain industry compliance through fear. Wow. Purpose and impact. Paragraph 680. Was a public display of Cartagena's enforcement strategy using V to dominate rivals, punish perceived betrayals, and solidify enterprise authority. They keep using that word enterprise for a reason. Paragraph 679. The document states that these actions qualify, here we go, as racketeering activity under 18 USC C3PO R2D2. I don't know nothing about that. But this is the racketeering shit. So, summary is, Cartagena retaliated against Dre by ordering Pistol Pete to attack him in his Miami studio. Torres slapped Dre 3 times, grabbed him by the neck, and threatened further to prevent future collaborations with Cartagena's rival like 50 Cent. This public assault was designed to intimidate Dre, reinforce Cartagena's dominance, and send a warning to others in the industry. If you need any further details or external research to retaliate to this incident, please let me know. Okay, let's go back and ask it. Let's ask it some other things. Is DJ Khaled in this lawsuit anywhere? Y'all learning something in real time. Everybody can't show you this. Everybody don't have the wisdom to speak it and the knowledge to show you. Oh, shit. He's not in there. Okay. So Khaled is not in there. Okay, Khaled is not in there. Let's see. What about Rick Ross? I'm just doing this because of the Miami Connect. Not because so there's no DJ Khaled. What you thinking? We ain't got time to think. Okay. Is Rick Ross mentioned anywhere? Rick Ross is not mentioned. And they're just showing me these names specifically. Okay. Somebody said no, Khaled is soft. Let's see. So I guess it's just these names. Sneaker Addict Touring LLC, Joseph. Is there any question? Oh, ask about. You know, it's funny. I was going to ask about Big Pun. Is Big Pun or his family mentioned in this paperwork? I know I spelled that wrong. I always proofread. Oh, this is fire because it says, is Big Pun or his family mentioned in his paperwork? It says, no, the provided document does not explicitly mention Big Pun, Christopher Lee Rios, or his family by name. I reviewed the documents for references to Big Pun, Christopher Rios, or any direct mentions of his family, and none appear. However, they are indirect references to the broader context of the Terror Squad. See, this is fire right here. So it's saying, yeah, it's not mentioning him, but when they mention the Terror Squad, it mentions him as a music group associated with Big Pun as one specific incident involving a family member of the enterprise associate that may be relevant. So it says, when he says nobody leaves Terror Squad in one piece. So all right, page 122, no, paragraph 122. Page 18, defendant Cartagena is quoted as saying, nobody leaves Terror Squad in one piece, used as to intimidate plaintiff Terrance Dixon. This suggests the Terror Squad's reputation for enforcing loyalty, which could implicitly connect to its history, including Big Pun's era, though he is not named. Paragraph 148, page 21, the phrase is reiterated in the context of threats, reinforcing the Terror Squad's culture of fear and control under Cartagena's leadership. Okay, involving a family member. Okay, the document describes an event where an enterprise's member's family was involved in an altercation at UPN NYC, a sneaker and apparel store allegedly used as a front for laundering by Cartagena's enterprise. Damn. Paragraph 664. In 2021, an unnamed enterprise member's cousin was fired from UPNYC after an altercation with a customer who was a known gang member. This cousin, employed as a cashier, was accused of stealing $1,500 in cash and goods and was dismissed to avoid enterprise exposure. Paragraph 6 665 to 670. The cousin's terminations were handled to protect the enterprise's secrecy, and threats were made to ensure the compliance, including a warning that his cousin would face consequences for disloyalty. The incident is cited as evidence of the enterprise's use of employment leverages to suppress accountability and conceal misconduct. Okay. Let me ask something else. If convicted, no, this is not a conviction. This is a civil suit, right? Can this case turn criminal? Yeah, damn. Yeah, you see it. You see it. Yeah, you see it. And for the record, a lot of people are reporting this. A lot of people are talking about this. This is paperwork that's out there. Everybody reads paperwork. Plus, I don't fall under any statute, anybody's code of conduct, anybody, you shouldn't do this and do that. Frank Stan, anybody who got an attitude. I normally don't Frank Stan people, but people be picking and choosing. Because if this was somebody else, when it was Big U, when it was other people, it was all good. So we not going to pick and choose. We not going to pick and choose. The complaint alleges that Cartagena coerced TA into over 4,000 acts under duress, using threats of financial ruin, abandonment, and physical harm to ensure compliance. These acts are described as trafficking by coercion and forced labor, both of which are criminal offenses under federal law. Whoa, and could be punishable up to 20 years. Yeah, this is, you can see, again, I'm going to say it again. This is all alleged. This does not mean that it's the truth. This is just what's alleged. Does not mean it's the truth. I'm not saying that Joe did any of this. This is just what somebody is alleging that he did and brought a lawsuit against him. Fat Joe is innocent until proven guilty. So what we're not going to do is say you did this, but it's just looking a little, it's looking a little dark. Looking a little, it ain't looking all that light. It's looking a little dark. These some serious accusations, some serious complaints. And yeah. So I want to come back to y'all really quick. Put all the documents and everything down. Thank you to anybody who might have donated. Thank you to anybody who might have sent me a Cash App, which is pinned to the screen. I want to say this, right? First of all, R.I.P. to Pun, man. Y'all know how close I am to Pun's family. Sadly, I was having a conversation with somebody earlier, and many people who are accused of misconduct, of doing wrong things to their artists and people around them, if you notice right now, that shit getting dark for a lot of people. Ain't nobody leaving unscathed. If you was foul, if you did something wrong, if was any wild accusations, it's up. It's up. I don't know what was open with I will always credit it 2017 with Ali Vegas, but you know what I did with Ali Vegas, more so Ali Vegas, you know what I'm saying? Because that kid mind is sharp and he was just spewing and he really laid down a foundation for what y'all seeing. So salute to Ali Vegas, my little bro. You know what I'm saying? Please support Ali Vegas, the real Ali Vegas. But if you notice, all these dudes, especially these dudes who have been using these tactics, these dudes who have been doing certain shit, yo, it's up for them. They not getting away with nothing. Like, it's up. So right now, anything that was done in the dark, that shit getting light. Anything that was done in the dark is coming to light, and people are seeing, hearing, and yo, man, this what happens when you don't have no, excuse my language. This is what happens when you don't have no dick discipline. This is what happens when you misuse your power. This is what happens when you don't want with your brother what you want for yourself. And this is what happens when you a low down piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying any of these guys, even if it is Diddy, even if it is Fat Joe, even if it is others, this is what happens when you carried it a certain way. And then this is what's going on. And it seemed like ever since Fat Joe made them comments about FBA, it got dark. Listen, let me tell you something, man. Shout out to everybody. Me personally, coming from raised as a Pan-Africanist, I love all black people and I love Spanish people. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like to say Spanish. Like to say Latino. But let me tell you something about the power of being a black man, FBA, you know what I'm saying, a black man. Let me tell you something, man. Our power is so strong, and it has been strong since we've been here and we built this. Yo, we always get our get back, man. We always gonna get our get back. Nobody who ever talked bad about us or did some foul shit to us, they ain't never walk away clean. And sometimes it takes a while, but it's gonna come. It might not, some things might not come in this lifetime, might not be seen by my eyes. I might, return to the essence by then, but it's coming. And the realest shit is that nobody is going to do wrongdoing to a lot of people and masses of people and get away with it, man. John Gotti they even eventually caught John Gotti, Mr. Untouchable, Nicky Barnes. Let me tell you something. John Gotti died in jail like a regular dude, getting beat up and shit like that. So none of us is above, the universe. Many of us get money, we get fame, we get riches, and then we start thinking that we bigger than the program of life and the universal laws of life. You're not bigger than that because you going to get got. And if you have done wrongdoing, if you have done children wrong, if you've done women wrong, if you use your power of persuasion, your money, to scare people, to make people do things that you didn't want to do, and you lie, cheat, and you steal, your ass is out. It's up for you. So that's one of the things I feel good about myself and some people that I know is that I know that I've never been a piece of shit. Like, it's things that I stayed away from. It's things that I didn't mess with for the fact of these days are coming. And even if no matter what your system of belief is, right? Your system of belief is, these are the judgments in these days. Everybody gonna face the judgment. Whether the judgment is by your creator or whether the judgment is by the universe or whether the judgment is by the people, you're gonna face that judgment. And is it really worth it? So this is where we have to start thinking, damn, was that chain worth it? Was it worth me taking that family's legacy's money for that chain, for that female? Was it for me to corrupt that young girl and put her out there and take her to a world that she wasn't ready for because of my deviance? Was it worth it? Because judgment is here now for a lot of people, and you're going to be seeing people judge. You're going to be seeing people falling out. You're going to be seeing a lot of people because it's up right now. It's up. And this is what I be trying to tell people, like, yo, it's up. So a lot of that stuff you be seeing and you be like, damn, and you be down on yourself and you be seeing people fronting and you be seeing people live a certain way and they not living right and exact and they living foul. You might look and say, damn, I got $300 in the bank. My bills is $6,000-7,000 a month. Damn, I'm struggling. But look how he living. Look how he did. Yo, it's going to be up for them because if you living foul, when you live in foul, there's no way out. Nobody has escaped this shit unscathed. Nobody has escaped this unscathed. And I was wondering about the T.I. thing. There was a couple of things that I was wondering recently. The T.A. My bad, T.A. What I was wondering about the T.A., was that a humiliation ritual? Because if he's saying that this dude made him do certain things under duress, right? And then was watching it. Are you sitting back admiring, making sure you getting initiated into some type of crew or organization or situation that we could tell you certain things and all that? Because that's what it sounds like to me. Now, young, back in the days, right? Back in the days, dudes might have did hooky parties. Dudes might have did all types of wild stuff. But as a grown-ass man, there's just certain things you don't do. See, when you know better, you do better. And youth, you can't use youth as an excuse all the time because you could be tried as an adult. But your brain is not fully developed. So you get a pass because you can say, damn, they was young. They didn't know no better. But this be grown man shit dudes be doing. Like, a lot of them dudes is older than us. They like 55, 56 years old. So they been in the culture for like 30 years. So they know better. But with money, power, fake respect, fake intimidation, this is what people are using. This is what people are using. And then you do it to the wrong person. And then when the person tell, it's like you blew the lid off the whole operation. So what's going to happen is you're going to see more people get outed. Like, this lawsuit shit it ain't stopping here. It's going to go up. So even what I'm saying is that don't be jealous of what you think success is. Because people, I told y'all this maybe 15 years ago, people base success off of materialism. Every day, especially when I talk about hip hop, and, you know, people get really, really mad at me for my hip hop opinions, you know, or takes, as they like to say. People like to tell you what you're not. People like to tell you what you didn't accomplish and all that, or you a goofy and all these words and all that, right? People don't understand why I live the way I live, why I do what I do, because I know better. I've been in the culture since I was 15 years old. I know better. I done seen and heard many things. And luckily for me, I stayed away from a lot of stuff because I would just be in prison, because I ain't having it. I ain't having it. I never been having it when it comes to certain things. I have never been under nobody. Nobody has ever been my boss in my life. I never wanted to be down with nothing to where I was willing to give up my morals, values, and principles and my man card just to be down, or to be down. Oh, they doing this. They doing this. So in order to be sitting in the room with this, you got to do this. Now I don't want to be in that room then. I don't want to be in that room. And I've been called stubborn. I've been called a failure by some. I've been said everything. But you know what? My fucking soul is intact. My rump is intact. Everything is intact. And when I get up every day, you know, sometimes I know I could be offensive to some, and I want to apologize. Sometimes I am just too manly for these unmanly men now. I'm too manly now. I'm too strong. I'm too free. I'm too loud. I'm too boisterous. I'm too boisterous. I'm too boisterous, however you want to say it. And it intimidates people. And sometimes look and be like, yo, how he get to say that? Who he think he is? I'm a man with my shit intact. I'm intact. Untampered with. No dirt on my shirt. I promise you. So people be wanting to find something on me or looking for anything that could be a chink in my armor. I purposely avoided stuff because these days are coming. You cannot avoid this. You cannot avoid universal justice. Nobody is avoiding that. Nobody in history. So yeah, I might not have this. Yeah, because again, if I showed you what I have, if I fronted a little bit, you might say, hold on, maybe a nigga is a little doing okay. But materialism don't mean you doing okay. Having your sanity is okay, because it was a particular time in my life that I wasn't all there based off of my environment, what I was going through, dealing with the industry and dealing with a lot of stuff. So when you're able to control your mind and your mental health, your physical health, you could lose 100 pounds. You could take control of your physical health, your mental health, and how you carry it. Man, listen, you already won. You already won. Every day you get up, you pop champagne of life. So don't always look at other people's stuff. Don't always look at other people and be jealous, or looking at other people and saying what you don't have, because you never know what they did to get that. And not saying that because I don't want to put that on everybody, because a lot of people are talented and they deserve what they got. They worked hard. So what we need to stop doing is disqualifying people and saying, yo, he got this because of this and that, because we don't do that with nobody else. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that with nobody else. But when we achieve things, one of the first things that we like to say is, yo, he got that because of this. Nah, some people worked hard. Some people deserved it. And some people really, really avoided the pitfalls of this shit. And that's me. Maybe I would be a little further. Maybe I would have this and have that. But further in what, though? See, that's what you always got to think about with yourself. Further in what? So if you're doing different things to add more years in your life, if you're doing more things to help improve other people's quality of life, you already got further. Because when you're a black kid from the ghetto that come from nothing, no mother, no father, that's me. You know what I'm saying? No mother, no father. By the time I was 6, 7 years old, you already know the story. My father was a full-blown substance abuse. So when you come from that and you're able to change your life, because all I knew was suffering. So when I no longer suffering and I'm able to change other lives because I know how to speak and I use my talent and my intelligence, and I'm able to change lives via speaking to people and then also showing people tangible skills and giving people opportunities. Man, listen, man, there ain't nothing like it. So when people say stuff to me, or you a goofy, you a this, you a that, I'll be like, all right, okay. Because the average individual don't know what people take from me. You just think he created that. You just think this person did this. You just think this person do that. And you just sometimes catch me in the corner not speaking. Whatever y'all want to think. Whatever y'all perception is. Sincere says, peace to you as well. Sometimes you got to ask, what is the reward of having integrity? And we are seeing it in real time. We get a good rep and clear conscience. That's really what it's all about. Snagglepuss is in the building. You know what I'm saying? Snag, when we going to do an interview? That's my guy Snagglepuss right there. You know what I'm saying? But see, this is what it's really all about. So I'm kind of wondering if it's yeah, that's the real Snagglepuss too. That's him. That's my bro right there. I'm wondering if it was like a humiliation thing, because imagine being somebody being older than you, right? And then they saying, yo, you got to do this and you got to do that. And you're like, damn, I got to do that to be in the industry? What happened to us rewarding people? What happened to us liking people because they actually have the talent and we want the talent to flourish? What happened to that? What happened to that? Now it's like, and then the sad thing about it, we can't talk about what they did to us. We doing that to us now. Now we getting in a position of power and we sitting there doing shit to people and mistreating our own people. So sometimes when we want to say, yo, they did this. These niggas is doing it too now. So are they doing the bidding for the elites? Are they doing stuff to say, look, I did this and I did that? Because remember, a lot of times when you see people who do something to somebody, that's because it was done to them. So it's just a cycle. It's just a cycle repeating itself. You know, and I feel bad because a lot of y'all, man, got talent. A lot of y'all could rap, sing, produce, draw. You could sew. Many of you have great ideas, and a lot of times y'all don't really get y'all just due because they want you to play these little games sometimes, or just the energy don't be right. They want you to go in these circles with these custies and these alcoholics and or these deviants, and just sometimes it just don't feel right. It don't feel right to be in that room and it's a cloud of weed smoke and it's liquor being passed around and these groupies is here, or they passing that dollar around and they getting their nose right. Sometimes it don't feel right because sometimes, yo, man, I just want to rap. I just want to play these beats. I don't want to partake in that. And there was a particular time on the streets where we let certain people who wasn't with it, they ain't have to be with it. Yo, he a good kid. He go to school. Yo, he play the clarinet. Yo, he nice on them drums. Now it's like we trying to make everybody a monolith. Either you a gangster, you a mook, you a hustler, or you a deviant, you a thot. It's all of that. You got to fit into one of those categories or nobody's really looking at your talent. That's why it's dudes that rap that I'm whipping the pot and I had this or that. I'm like, yo, reason why that's cap, right? Let me tell you something about the streets. A lot of dudes will talk about hustling, bricks, crack, all of that. And who are they selling that to? They selling it to their own people, right? But nobody cares if we hurt us, right? We could talk whatever we want when it comes to hurting us. Talk about hurting others. Talk about something derogatory about a child or a woman. They getting your ass up out of here. You out of here, right? Think about this. Dudes be talking about how they pumped and they was getting money and all that. Let me tell you something. To be a street guy, you had to be affiliated with strong street guys or you had to be tough yourself. There was a particular time, if you were not tough, you cannot hustle. Dudes would be like, who you hustling for? Or who said you could get money out here? Give me that. So when I see some of these rappers and you be thinking they was some big time hustlers and all that, I'm like, niggas would have took they shit. Where they would have been getting money at. That nobody would have took it. You had to be about that action when you was getting money. So a lot of times I be seeing dudes and y'all be believing some of these dudes. I be like, man, niggas would have took his shit for sure. Or he would have been a worker, 25 off 100. I'm gonna give you 125 pack. You keep 25, give me my buck. And when you finish that, come back. But it's easy for us to just segue into, yo, we hustlers, yo, we getting money, or gang members, or all of this shit. Because why? Because that all hurts us. Nobody cares if we hurt each other. They just be like, look what they do to each other. Why should we give a fuck about them? That's really what it's all about. And it's a market for that. It's promoted. It's money in that. It's money in our dysfunction. So that's why I don't partake in a lot of shit. Anybody that's a part of a street organization based off of where you from and where you grew up, yo, shout out to you. If you really, really had to get it, how you live, shout out to you. But we grown now. We know a little bit more. Many of us, our brain is developing. Many of us, our brains are developing. We learn, we read, we know better. So that's why when I see people do certain shit, I be like, yo, the nigga knew better. He not no child. And I'm going to tell you something as a man, right? And I'm not saying as a man because I don't like that saying. I'm just saying to the fellas out there, to the fellas, I don't care what your denomination is as far as your system of belief or what race you are, what nationality you are. Lace and Jittle, I appreciate you. Y'all have to work on your discipline. Because you are not disciplined, you are setting yourself up for failure. I'm telling you, it is times where you have to look at certain things and say, that does not serve me. I'm not doing that. I gotta walk away from that. Because what's happening is you have people who's around you, who's coercing you to tell you this is what we're doing. It's not what we're doing. They want you to do that because they know that's going to lead to your destruction. How could somebody know that you smoke weed and they pass you dust just to watch your reaction? That shit be bugging some people out. Or how could they know that shorty is only 16 and be like, yo, go ahead. You know why? Because a lot of people be wanting to be like, you did it too. That's why I'm doing it, yo. I be like, who do that? Niggas? I ain't doing that. I don't do what niggas do. Every woman is not meant to holler at. Some women might come into your life. They might serve a higher purpose and change your life. But you too busy thinking with your motherfucking meat. You fuck up the purpose. You fuck up millions of dollars because you can't think past your fucking meat. And if you a dude and you really, really did your thing and you really did your numbers, how you still impressed by certain things at this ripe old age or in this stage in life? How you still chasing certain things? If you already had it. Because if you already had it, you ain't chasing it. And if you really did it on a level like y'all be acting like you did it, how you still chasing it? That's how I know a lot of niggas be fronting. Let me give you something. Kevin Gates. A woman was interviewing him. Think back. A woman interviewing him, and she touched his arm. And he said he wiped his arm. And he was like, I don't want her to touch me. He didn't know that woman. He didn't want her to touch him. We all was like, damn, that shit crazy. Yo, he didn't even want the woman to touch him. That's real. Yo, yeah, you can't be letting people touch you, the energy. He did all of that. Don't touch me, the energy. And married a skeezer. Right in front of you. And none of y'all lost respect for him. Married a skeezer. Soko has a good woman, Drika, right? Who's been down with him. And then married a skeezer. And tried to make her a Muslim. And the minute she don't mess with him no more, she took that hat off like LL Cool J. He didn't want a woman to touch him. But then he married a skeezer. Right in front of you. He married a skeezer. This nigga married a scallywag, a swashbuckler. Right in front of you, he married a scallywag and was wifing her. I appreciate you, apartment all. Y'all never thought about that? He was like, yo, don't touch me. He wiped his arm. This nigga married a scallywag. I was like, what the hell happened? What happened to this righteous dude? You see what I'm saying? So, in closing, y'all are on the right track. Don't deviate from the path. Stay on your course of what it is you doing. And again, I know sometimes I don't be for everybody because when you see, I need them likes up too, truthfully. When you see a black man who exudes power, physical power, Nicholas Silly, I appreciate you. Physical power, mental power, and spiritual power. What happens is you say, ooh, you gonna get in trouble. So that's why sometimes I'm not palatable for people, because you don't get to see this shit often. You don't really get to see men be men. I don't use none of them wild ass, like I said, I might use a smiley face. I might use a laughing emoji, maybe the arm, but all them eye rolling and all this other shit, I don't be with a lot of stuff. And it's not something that I learned. This is something that I grew up in. I was raised by men. So, in a lot of instances, you don't get to see men be men. So you look at me like, ooh, you gonna get in trouble. And then sometimes you find yourself wanting to combat me when I'm fucking fighting for you. You just don't know it. Why? Because I might say an album is whack. Why? Because I might say this, that, and the third. Who has the freedom to say that without going to lose relationships or get black? But I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to do what I want. No filter within the confines of the TOS of the platform that I'm on. Other than that, I could say what I want, do what I want with no consequence. I ain't worried about none of these dudes on no physical plane, especially they can't fuck with me on no mental. But I ain't worried about who I got to watch my back. So that is the problem. When you see somebody doing something, you'll be like, ooh, you going to get in trouble. Oh, they going to catch you. They going to do this. Oh, really? So why they ain't do it in 20 years? So that's the problem. When you see certain shit, you be like, damn, this motherfucker, he don't give a fuck. He say whatever he want, do what he want. Don't be scared of that. Don't be scared of that. Embrace it. Use it for your empowerment. What's the worst thing that could happen? I could die. What's the worst, really truthfully, what's the worst thing that could happen to you? I done took on fights. I done took on situations that ain't had shit to do with me. That's why I don't do it no more. I done got my money snatched. I done lost 6-7 months of money. Oh, I done sacrificed a lot. I'm at the point, I don't give a fuck. If I feel something in my spirit and it's right and exact, I'm going to talk. Right? Because when dudes sit around each other and talk about who's a snitch, who's a rat, who's a gang, who did, everybody like this with the Hulk Hogan. But when some of us is talking some real shit, you're not listening because you want the sensationalized shit, and you ain't always going to get that. Sometimes you got to eat Brussels sprouts. I know you like macaroni and cheese. I know you like macaroni and cheese. I know you like candy yams. Sometimes you got to eat Brussels sprouts. And I happen to like Brussels sprouts. So for the record, I want to say, Fat Joe has done no wrongdoing. He has not been proven guilty of anything. He has not settled. He hasn't done anything. So what I read to you tonight, what I showed you tonight, is not an indication of him being wrong. This is just accusations. Sometimes when we read these things, we have more questions than we have answers. We have more questions than we have answers. One of the main questions because I ask questions for a living, so I always got questions. One of the main things that I want to know is, how did you count 4,000 times? That's one question I want to know. I don't know. That's out of everything I read, I'm going to be 1,000 with you. Keep it 1,000. I'm going to be 1,000 with you. I did not know how he came with the number 4,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, how that shit happened like 4,000 times. Like, so what you was like? 2,952, 2,953. Like, I had 4,000. And you came up with that number. Y'all motherfuckers was just getting gully then. Cause damn, 4,000? How long was this shit going on? So that's what's wild to me. Like 4,000? The hell was y'all into? 4,000? Nah. That's the only thing to me that was preposterous. Anything else? Yeah. But 4,000, y'all niggas should have said like 432 or something like that. 4,000? God damn. That nigga was like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4,000? You wasn't when you got to like 100, you wasn't like, this nigga made me do this shit 100 times. And I'm gonna be real with you. And let me say something to y'all too. Be happy. Be grateful. That nobody can't make you do shit. So that's me. I'm telling you, nobody can't make me do nothing. They haven't been able to make me do nothing over the course of my life. They can't make me do shit. They don't even suggest that I do certain things. That's why y'all be wondering why I be left out of certain things. Remember I told you before, certain podcasters will sit together because they got habits. They got some of the same habits. You could decipher some of that. Certain podcasters will sit together because they've been accused of the same type stuff. They've been accused. You've been accused of this. You've been accused of that. And then y'all sitting together. What's the probability of that's what brought y'all together? That's what bring y'all together. Nigga like, yo, come through. That Lady Gaga. Nigga like, word, I'm pulling up. We could do some content. That's why I don't. Listen, me, I see somebody doing something they ain't got no business doing. You a custody You a fun boy. I ain't going to be around that. They're not going to invite the real around. I'm telling you, they ain't going to invite the real around that. And you ever see some people, when they get around you, how they code switch? They might be a certain way, but when they get around you, they know how to shape up the same way. When I used to get bent and I get around my grandmother, I thought I was acting sober. You ever be around somebody, you think you're drunk, but you know you're drunk, but you think you're acting sober? You be like, that's why these dudes be rocking with each other. Yo, what they got in common? These dudes got in common because they custies or they been accused of them Thailand women. Just think, I'm telling you, just use your noggin. Telling you, use your noggin. They done got accused in them Thailand women. I'd just rather just stay in the crib, come out, do my 1-2, stay away from all these dudes. I had a dude ask me before. Matter of fact, it was Math Hoffa one time, right? And for the record, I ain't got no beef with Math or no issue with Math. I just spoke what I spoke, and that was that. I didn't even lose no sleep. But I remember him asking me one time why I don't smoke. And he's like, why you don't smoke weed? And I was like, because I don't. And he was like, but what though? That shit made me mad. Like, I was like, I don't owe you no fucking explanation of why I don't do something. I'm a grown-ass fucking man. Like, you don't question me why I don't do something. I don't do it because I don't do it. Because when you start trying to rationalize why you don't do something, you could rationalize why you should do it. And what is this? Nigga, you can't put me under no pressure. Peer pressure, street, nothing. So it was like, but what though? Because I don't want to. How about that? And you can't, I don't owe you no explanation. I just wanted to know why. What type of shit is that? When we see people on their paths and their journeys, we don't commend it. We be like, yo, man, you never did this before. Why not? Talk to a woman and say you don't smoke or drink or eat seafood. They'd be like, so what do you do for fun? I didn't know fun meant seafood, liquor, and smoking. I picture being a grown-ass man and you sitting there smoking hookah. That shit ain't never been no, yo, I got shows that I could show y'all 20 years ago of me talking about dudes who smoke hookah and all that. Y'all been on what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? So whatever path you on, be happy that you wasn't in certain circles. Be happy that you didn't get signed to certain people. Be happy that you never was around nobody that was going to impede or stifle your progress, because that's what I see a lot of. So yeah, you might not be where you want to be. Yeah, you still got ways to go in your opinion. But look at the people who so-called got there. They all got complaints. They got lawsuits. They got shit. Yo, you duck that smoke. Be happy you duck that smoke. Be happy that you duck that smoke. Yeah, you could have, you did play your song for these people. You could have been on this label. You could have been with these people. These people was hitting you up. These people wanted you to be there. Yeah, you played your demo. Yeah, you didn't get no record deal, but guess what? You ducked that smoke. You ducked that smoke. You're still intact. You ain't never get extorted. You ain't never get intimidated. Motherfucker ain't never took your motherfucking rump. Never made you knock chicks down while they watched and filmed it. Nah. Ain't turn you into no custody. Nah. You duck that smoke. And you still got that music. No matter how old that music is, put it out. Don't ever let nobody tell you, this is old. How is old if nobody never heard it? Don't let nothing go to waste. If you eat the inbred, you throw the inbred away. When it's a little bit of juice, you throw it away? No. It might be it's a little bit of juice. It might have been in there for a long time. You're going to drink that swallow. So don't let people dictate your program. You know what I'm saying? So before I go, and if you just came in the room, I'm going to review really quick. I'm going to review for you really quick. If you just came in here and be like, man, this nigga just talking, he ain't talking about shit. This is the actual paperwork. I have the paperwork. This is the lawsuit. This is the lawsuit. This is a civil suit. This is not a criminal suit. Okay, you want to just fuck up now. Okay, there we go. This is the criminal. Not criminal. This is, take the glasses off, bro. This is the civil suit. TA against, we know Fat Joe is named. Pistol Pete is named. Rich Player is named. Erica Giuliano Moreira is named. Sneaker Addict Touring LLC is named. Slate Inc. is named. Rock Nation is named. Jane Doe 1 through 10. There's some Jane Does in here too. So I have the paperwork, but what I did was I didn't go through the paperwork. What I did was I actually used the AI to summarize the paperwork for me. So that's what you're going to see right now, the summarization of the paperwork. So for the people who was here with me from the beginning, this is me feeding the paperwork into the AI. When I fed the paperwork into the AI, I said, can you research this and find 50 Cent's name in this article, which is the paperwork? And it said the name 50 Cent appears in the provided document on page 135 in the context of Predicate Act 17 and intimidation of Dre, of Cool and Dre. Specifically, paragraph 673 states, defendant Cartagena, who was Fat Joe, specifically targeted Dre, a prominent music producer from the duo Cool and Dre, after Dre produced the beat for rapper 50 Cent's hit Hate It or Love It. Defendant Cartagena viewed this professional collaboration as a betrayal and an alignment with his rival, prompting immediate retaliation. So what I wanted to know was, what was the retaliation? And this was the scaring TA, and I wanted to, so I could get back to that, but you just have to re-watch the video. And look at the dudes with the emojis. See, what is it y'all with these the shoulder shrug emojis and the eye rolling and shit? Y'all niggas is the new bitches. But anyway. And bitch is not gender specific. Just know that. How did Cartagena retaliate against Dre? And this is what I read. According to the provided document case, and it's the case number, document 3 filed 6/19/25, Joseph Antonio Cartagena, aka Fat Joe, retaliated against Dre, a music producer from the duo Cool and Dre, due to Dre's collaboration with rapper 50 Cent. So what he's saying is that when Dre did Hate It or Love It for when he did Hate It or Love It for The Game and 50, Fat Joe was mad. Fat Joe was mad. So to summarize how he retaliated, Cartagena, according to the paperwork, Cartagena retaliated against Dre by ordering Pistol Pete Torres to violently him in his Miami studio. Torres slapped Dre 3 times, grabbed him by his neck, and Dre is allegedly 6'7". Pistol Pete is 5'8". Grabbed him by his neck and threatened further harm to prevent future collaborations with Cartagena's rivals like 50 Cent. This public assault was designed to intimidate Dre, reinforce Cartagena's dominance, and send a warning to others in the industry. So basically, he sent, according to the paperwork, I'm not saying he did, according to the paperwork, he sent Pistol Pete to slap up Dre of Cool and Dre because he did Hate It or Love It for 50 Cent. That's what happened. And another thing I want to address real quick, I see people in the chat saying we at war. Y'all could come here and y'all could let them fear-mongering YouTube dudes talk to you while they want to show they want to show you and then dude right there is a weirdo, but I'm not even gonna address him because niggas be wanting clout. You know what I'm saying? I can see dudes be weirdos. They could talk about who is hold on, damn, I fucked up. See what happened, fam, you retracted your message because you didn't know you was in here and you made a mistake. And what a lot of y'all be wanting to do, I think y'all be having y'all little platforms or whatever and y'all be wanting to go back and forth. I'm not doing that with y'all. Good luck with everything you doing. Just keep my name in the title. If anything y'all do, just put my name in the title. That helps me. So I'm not saying that this happened. I'm just saying this is what they're saying what happened. And for the people who's talking about World War III and this is happening and that's happening, every year is conflicts. Every year is conflicts in what's going on in the world. If you think what's going on today didn't go on last year and the year before that, it is certain places in the world that has been fighting for the last 100 years. It's just the truth. So today is no different. And for the people who's out there and they are making you fearful, they don't got no fallout shelter or no bunker. So coming to you and saying, this is happening and that's happening, how are they prepared? So it don't really make no sense. So yeah, again, I have the paperwork. This is what I showed you. That's it. So I'm gonna sign out at that. If you haven't been following me on social media, I'm Doggie Diamonds on everything. One thing I will say, no matter how you feel about me, no matter what you feel about me, we talk about music still too. So some of the conversations I've been having, some people are mad because I feel something about, I might have said something about Slick Rick album, Redman album, certain things. People are upset, you know, they mad at me over niggas they don't know, niggas that'll walk right past them in the street. And they, you know, they start to resort to the name calling and what they'll do to me and all that shit over music though. Not because I dissed a child, I harmed the woman, I harmed the baby. Over music. Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind how triggered and wild people will show out when you say something about their so-called favorite artist that they don't support. Just remember that. They make videos, they make threats, they call you names, which is fine. But regardless to what, I got y'all talking about music, the culture. That's what the culture used to be. We would be in the barbershop, we'd be on the block, who better? We'd be talking about everything. That's what the barbershops was for. And I know many of y'all wasn't outside, so you missed that time. So this is new to you. It's not new to me. This is what we did in the block. This is what we did in the hood. We talked about this person was better. This album was whack. That's what we did. So being that many of y'all wasn't outside, many of y'all not from them places, this is new to you, so you never heard this before. This is what we did. This is what we do. And many of you run your mouth and talk shit when you could be learning. I'm telling you, I'm a great illustrator, orator, and a great teacher. But many of you could be learning, but you think that you my op. You think that it's cool to do what you do. But just keep my name in the title. Keep all that shit. It's cool. Because you know who watch you the most? People who so-called don't like you. So if I got to play the role of the truth teller, what I deem to be my truth, and I'm the bad guy, and I'm this, that, and the third, that shit don't bother me. I'm going to play that. Listen, I'm never going to be silent or silenced. I've always been like this. I've always been like this. So if you can't take a music opinion and you think it goes to the streets and you think it goes to resorting to insults and, you know, I'm this and I'm that because I think something about music, what does that say about you? Because I didn't harm nobody's children, family, nothing. And there's people on here talking about far worse shit, but I'm talking about the culture. So if that bothers you, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That got a lot to do with you, because if you're going to debate me and if you're going to say certain things and you using tactics and facts, that's fine. But the disrespect and all that shit y'all be doing, I'm telling y'all, like, I don't be fronting on people. You know what I'm saying? I keep it modest. I keep it humble when it comes to what a nigga got and what a nigga achieved. But a lot of y'all can't fuck with me in no way. Can't fuck with me on the streets. Can't fuck with me financially. Can't fuck with me with a lot of shit. I just be letting people live. That's the easy part. That's why I come on here. I don't overdress. I don't do none of that because I'm one of y'all. We all the same people. But if we want to play the fronting game and the stunting game, come on, man. For what? What do you get, a cookie at the end of the night? Shit don't make no sense. None of y'all niggas ain't, a lot of y'all niggas ain't even free. Y'all not free. Respect freedom. Hit me up and say, yo, how you such and such? And I can navigate you. I can navigate you through this easily. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. And I'm not going, this ain't no war words or nobody. We not making no videos, because a lot of y'all niggas got to get your weight up anyway, though. You ain't even accomplished shit. I done did shit 20 years ago that you will never do. It's just the truth. And you know what? Any other music that come out that I don't like, I'm going to talk about that shit too. I don't care how y'all feel. I'm going to talk about that shit too. And if you, oh, I unsubscribed, he's a goofy, and so? If you agree with me 99 times, and if I said something you didn't like 3 times, that 99 don't trump the 3, because obviously you subscribe for a reason. Obviously you followed me for a reason. See how fickle you are? That's why sometimes when people give you praise, you got to take it with a grain of salt. You got to say, thank you. Because the minute somebody don't like something about you, they going to tell you, you a goofy, you this, you that, da, da, da. So if you like what I did 99 times, and then you don't like what I did 3 times, now I'm a goofy, I'm all of this. So the math don't math. And then I know y'all make y'all little videos and y'all do shit, and all the fucking goofballs who I done shitted on, y'all all congregate together like little girls around a campfire making s'mores. All y'all congregate together. Yeah, he's a goofy. He got glasses on. Look at all these niggas that wear glasses on. And I take my shit off every day. Think about that. Think about that. I've been doing this shit, this live shit, since 2015. Many of you wouldn't be going live if it wasn't for me. That's just the truth. It just is what it is. So if you think you want to go outside and I'm a goofy and you want to fight and I'll meet up with you and you're willing to lose your beautiful girl, your family and all that, to meet a nigga on YouTube because he don't like Slick Rick album, because he don't like the Clips album? Y'all think that's masculine? You think that's some grown man shit? Obviously, you ain't got nothing to lose. I got a lot to lose. And like I told y'all before, ain't that much fish fries in the world. You figure it out. But yo, I'm out. Until next time, I'll be back. And I don't even, look at this, right? Think about this, right? Before I go, because I got to get this in here. It's two things I want to get in before I go. Because I be typing stuff, but sometimes I got to say it. What be happening, right? You be having these hip hop debates with people and you smoke them. You know they follow you around from platform to platform, trying to get their lick back, trying to argue back with you because you just kicked their ass, so they can't accept it. So now they'll go everywhere just to get their lick back. Now every post you make, you ever had them people on Facebook? They never pop out. They never say anything. But every time you make a post, here they come to argue. They don't like nothing. They don't share nothing. The minute they don't like your take, here they come. You are up. They just trying to get their lick back. You not getting your lick back because I don't care. If somebody is right, I'd be like, oh, nah, I get that. I agree with that. But you got people who just want to argue everything. Grown ass fucking men. Males. Males, not men. I forgot my other point. But it'll come to me. So if you watch the video from the beginning, you get everything you need. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you leave a comment. Sometimes I read the comments. I haven't been really reading the comments lately because a lot of shit just be, that's it. So somebody said free Puff, free Fat Joe. What do you mean free Puff, lock up Joe? Don't do that. Don't lock nobody up. He's still innocent until proven guilty. I don't care what you think. I don't care what people think. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's still innocent until proven guilty. So that's it. That was the paperwork. Again, I have the actual paperwork, so don't think, hey, I got the paperwork. Yes, I do, but dudes be acting like, I read the paperwork. You ain't read 156 pages. Stop lying. Get what I'm saying? So yeah. Remember, as old Gold said, intelligence is gangster. I hit the wrong button. We out.